Hey, Melina here. I am making this video because it's Foster Care Awareness Month. I don't know if you guys know this, but May is a Foster Care Awareness Month. And for Foster Care Awareness Month, we're going to be talking about 5 ways very easy and simple ways that you can support foster families around you. So from the time Bryce and I first became foster parents, we heard comments like, wow, that's great that you guys are foster parents. I could never personally become foster parents, but I would like to help out. How can we help out? Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if that's been one of the thoughts that has crossed your mind personally, okay? Because this video is for you, okay? So number 1, okay, very easy, very simple, things that we don't even think to do for foster families is bring a meal. Okay, so children that are in foster care, whether they were in a group home before, whether they were in another placement before, or whether they were just taken from their families, it's traumatic. Okay, so it's just a traumatic, you're a new family, you're a new face, unless you're kindred, but it's still traumatic because they're taken away from their families. They're not with their parents or who they want to be most of the time. So it's traumatic. Okay, so this is a hard time for the children, and that might manifest and make it a hard time for the parents. But even without talking about behaviors, there's different things foster families need to do within like the first couple of days of getting a new placement. Okay, so within the first couple of days, you need to do like a fire drill. You need to have run through like an evacuation plan. You need to take your child for a physical. You need to get them enrolled in school or daycare. You need to have a dentist appointment, all of these within the first couple of weeks. Okay, what about after those first couple of weeks? There are still so many different appointments that you need to keep up with. And it can be hard. There are so many visitors that are coming in and out of your door. It's like a revolving door all the time. For each child, especially if they're not siblings, you have family specialists, you have case managers, case workers, behavioral therapists, you have behavioral case managers, you have family support aides, parent aides. You have all these different people coming in, depending on the situation, that can be coming in to your home, and it can be hard. These meetings can last up to 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, I just said that, 2 to 3 hours. I mean, that's happened for me, where they stay for a long time and then, oops, it's dinner time. I'm starving because I've been talking to you forever. And before you even came, I was doing a bunch of different things. So a meal would go a long way. So if you're one of those people who are thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I should take a meal to so-and-so, take a meal to so-and-so, especially if it's a meal that can be frozen and then saved, even if it wasn't for that day. So meals. And then that is also such a great way to show your support for that family. Those foster parents are going to feel so loved because you thought of them enough to share a meal with them. So that's number 1. Number 2, I would say laundry. Okay, so foster families there's some that only take one child, but some have multiple children. What if you just took in a sibling set of 3 or 4 or 2? Okay, that changes the workload in the family. Something you don't think about very often is how the laundry changes every time you add a new person. Even as a little baby, babies come with a lot of laundry. So it is one thing that my mother did that was so nice. She would stop by and she wouldn't even ask. She would just, and it's kind of embarrassing, she would just go to like the dirty laundry and take it and wash it, move it over to the dryer, dry it, and then put the clothes away. Oh, that was amazing. And it was so helpful to have that extra help. So laundry, if you want to go over and help a family with their laundry, it will go a long way. Okay. Number 3, listening without judgment. So we talked about how foster children, they go through trauma and different things. They have a lot of emotions, but foster parents do too. There's so many emotions and feelings that you start to feel, and you're like, is that normal? And you start to question yourself, like, am I a good foster parent? Am I a good parent? Just listen without judgment, because there, you might hear something, you might be like, ooh, you really think that? You're really feeling that? No, just listen without judgment, because foster parenting is another beast of parenting. It's like a whole different ball game to parenting. It's still parenting, but it's just a whole different beast. So don't try to compare your own parenting, your own children with this foster parent, but do listen and you know, don't judge. Okay, that's all I can say. Another thing that really helped were donations. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about, like, every time we got a child, somebody would show up at our door and be like, oh, I just heard you accepted a new child, and their age, you know, like at that time was 5. I have this big bag. My daughter's outgrew all these clothes. Can you have it? And it was amazing because our children didn't come with a lot. So it was really nice. Donations like hand-me-downs were so helpful. So if you know a foster family and you're like, oh, I have clothes to donate them to a foster family, because it goes a long way. People gave us cribs, bookshelves, books, and toys for our kids, and it means a lot, because it is a lot taking in new children. And so that's something you can do as well. Playdates. Oh, playdates. Include foster families on these playdates. Don't be scared of them. Don't shy away from that, because kids want to feel included. So I'm going to just share a little story. Bryce and I were not parents before we became foster parents, but we had neighbors, and we had one neighbor in particular who had 5 children, and she would call us and invite us over for playdates. And my kids, they loved them. They felt so connected to them, and they felt so included, and they loved those playdates. And then I loved those playdates too, because it was my way of being able to ask some parenting advice. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no clue what to do or handle different situations. And so it was nice to be able to connect to different moms there too. And I have a bonus, because everyone loves bonuses. And you know, it's foster care awareness, and I might say appreciation. So if you're feeling like in your heart you want to do something special for a foster family, this one's one for you, especially if you have extra money to do it. Memberships and day passes to zoos or museums or parks. That is something really special that you can do for a foster family, because something fun that family can do together. Oh, that would just be the cherry on the top of something you can do. Anyway, I hope this video helps. If you guys come up with different ways to help foster families, comment down below. I'd love to hear them. But otherwise, like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because you know what? Give some foster families some love. All right, bye guys.